starting with Mini X30, and here's the grid positions with Jake Sanson.
Going to be a busy one. Mini X30 always is. Macaulay Bishop and Cameron Pratt-Thompson from Eden Spanswick and Lewis Bird. Leo Robinson and Hadi Mamasi. Then Henry Jocelyn and Wesley Swain. Rylan Ekberg and Charlie Morrison-Jones. From Brown, Rudman, Joey Brown, Tommy Harfield and Isaac Phelps. 15 karts. It's going to be a very busy race, this one. Here we go at Rowrah for Mini X30 in the Little Green Man Championship. And it's a great start right out of the box from Macaulay Bishop. He's already threatening to disappear out into the distance, as he has been making a bit of a habit of in Mini X30 in 2021. Let's see how they go through McRae's for the first time. Nice and stable. Good start from Hadi Mamasi. He's already up into 4th position. Great work from the youngster as they're battling away. Cameron Pratt-Thompson and Eden Spanswick for 2nd place early doors, and Mamasi's already on them.
That lead, Jake, is absolutely ridiculous on the first lap. That is crazy, that lead.
Well, this is the habit he's getting into. Macaulay Bishop and Mini X30, it's almost as if it's fused to his bones. Absolutely a part of him, that car.
It's like he's got the kart set up for the first lap early on, but we know it will just stay on.
Yeah, mistake from Spanswick, and it looks as though Mamasi has got through into 3rd position. The 344 has got by as well, Lewis Bird, and I don't think he's the only one. 2 of the Fusions have managed to get through. That's Swain and Leo Robinson, and Henry Jocelyn got by as well, so down to 8th place then for Eden Spanswick. Big mistake as he made a bit of an impression there, and that's a run on the inside from Rylan Ekberg. I think he's just got through into 10th place past Mason Rudman. So already some big moves in the field in Mini X30. It may not be the largest field of the day, but it's definitely one of the most action-packed. There is the championship leader in Mini X30, Wesley Swain. But with performances like this from Macaulay Bishop, he might not be staying the championship leader much longer.
Absolutely. Eden Spanswick, by the way, Jake, he's done really well this season, so he's got a bit of a drama going on there, but we know he's got the quality to come back through the field.
Hadi Mamasi, 3rd position, the young Canadian who is based in the United Kingdom these days. Mamasi obviously hoping one day, his ambition is to race for Canada in the FIA Karting Academy Trophy. Oh, we've got someone pulling off. That is
Henry Jocelyn.
That's 326 Henry Jocelyn. So Jocelyn has pulled off. Problems there. It looked as though he was slowing as early as the final turn. So Henry Jocelyn, who was up in the top 6, now very much out of it. A little love tap there from Lewis Bird to hurry up Hadi Mamasi, because look, the gap between him and Cameron Pratt-Thompson is gargantuan. There's a move on the inside, that's Robinson. So Robinson takes on his teammate Wesley Swain. Now Robinson actually is representing his nation in the FIA Karting Academy Trophy. He flies the Algerian colours out in Europe, obviously because his mother is Algerian. Wonderful to see him representing Africa in the European karting scene. Hadi Mamasi would quite like to represent Canada next season.
Yeah, I'm sure. And, well, he dominated pretty much, I think, last time. I say dominated. Won last time, didn't he, Leo Robinson? But,
indeed he did. Oh, there's Bird. Bird gets the move on Mamasi for 3rd position, so he does tuck out of McRae's, and now Mamasi has a look behind him just to figure out where Leo Robinson is. So Mamasi is right there, looking for another opportunity to get back into the podium. Leo Robinson chasing him down, the 337. Where's the overtaking move? Is it going to come into the S's? No, he's not close enough.
Cameron Pratt-Thompson has developed a nice little lead for himself in 2nd, so the leader well clear, and Thompson now well clear of the chasing group as well.
I have to say I'm very impressed with how Cameron Pratt-Thompson has come alive in Mini X30. Last year he did a reasonable job in Cadet. Up the inside, that's Robinson on Mamasi, and the door's still open for Swain, but Mamasi shuts it nicely there, keeps him back. He has another look, but he's not going to get through, and Eden Spanswick now trying to move his way back into the top 6. So a good little tussle with the drivers in Mini X30. Mamasi sliding in the braking zone as he tries to get up alongside Leo Robinson. Now trying to tuck in on the inside into Iredale's. Thinks better of it. Has a little bit more work to do. Cameron Pratt-Thompson, fastest lap, 48.8. To come back to what I was saying before about him, he really has made Mini X30 a class he can run for and does a great job. Mamasi on the inside of Robinson gets back into 4th position. Spanswick not able to get past Wesley Swain for the moment.
So Cameron Pratt-Thompson with the fastest lap, but I think it's just too much of a gap to make up to the race leader, Macaulay Bishop. Bishop's been on it all season pretty much in this class. Very difficult to beat, especially when you get the sort of lead he had on the first lap. But Pratt-Thompson puts in another fastest lap, so he's faster than the race leader.
Absolutely. Macaulay Bishop doing a great job on the inside. There, Spanswick makes the gap arise on Wesley Swain and gets into P6. Good work there. Cameron Pratt-Thompson again, 48.7. So he's doing the work he can to try and get into that gap. created early doors by Macaulay Bishop as we watch the 312 of Charlie Morrison-Jones trying to work his magic. He's battling with Rylan Ekberg. Ekberg having got through and taken the position, and that's an overtake further back. That's Harfield, I believe, getting past Finley Brown. Mason Rudman having dropped back down the order after an earlier difficulty. So Phelps and Joey Brown are still going fairly strong towards the rear of the field, but are having a battle of their own, and that's what you've got to do. You've got to battle with whoever's around you, whether you're in first place or in 11th.
Absolutely, and Pratt Thompson puts in another fastest lap, so faster than Macaulay Bishop out front, but I just think the gap, they've just gone through the screen there. You can see Pratt Thompson is pulling away from this chasing group, but has he got enough time and laps to catch the leader? There's a leader in the distance.
Possibly.
Just going into the S. It looks like he is getting closer.
I mean, you've got 6.5 minutes. The gap is down to 1.4, and it was as high as 1.9. So there is time. It's all going to be about tyre management. You've got to think as well, Macaulay Bishop has said a couple of times when he's built that big lead, he's then just managing the kart. He's just controlling the pace. He doesn't have to push when you've got that kind of gap. You just need to rhythmically go through each apex, just look after the tyres, look after the engine. He could well be a little bit of sandbagging and just wait until the gap is at a second and then just disappear again.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt that somebody of Bishop's quality. And here's another overtake, Jake, down the inside.
Oh, it's a double.
Mamassi. Triple.
Mamassi and Robinson both getting the move on Bird, and Spanswick thought, well, there might be a bit of a juicy gap there for me as well. Couldn't quite make it stick. So Hadi Mamassi back into third place. Leo Robinson up into fourth. Lewis Bird drops to fifth position. Robinson goes for third on Mamassi, gets the move on the inside line. So it's going to be an interesting battle between these two now as Robinson gets into third position. Mamassi is still right there in P4. Let's not forget that these two very much championship contenders, Robinson and Mamassi. It's going to need consistency through the course of the season. Here's Spanswick on the inside of Lewis Bird. So Spanswick does get into P5.
Bishop now sets the fastest lap, Jake, so almost responding to what Pratt Thompson has been doing in second.
What do we tell you? All he does is just controls the pace, and then when he needs to open up the taps, that's when he goes for it. He reminds me so much of a young Oliver Rowland. Rowland used to do exactly the same thing out in the front of cadet races in the mid to early 2000s. He was so strong. He would get into the lead, he would build about a second and a half, let them come in a little bit, and then go, do you know what? I've still got a little bit more in the tank here. I'm going to disappear, thanks very much.
Yeah, absolutely. No doubt about that. We raced against Oliver back in the day. Great driver he was, arguably one of the best cadet drivers ever, the only cadet driver ever to win back-to-back British Championships.
So here is the battle for Robinson, Mamassi, Spanswick, Bird and Swain. 5 drivers all hoping to be on that third spot of the podium here at the Little Green Man Championship at the Lakeland Stadium in Rowrah. Beautiful place this, built into a quarry. You can't see it until you arrive this place. It's a wonderful, wonderful setting and an absolutely beautiful racetrack. A great little battle going on here as Mason Rudman trying to make progress again. He's managed to catch up to Finley Brown. Brown goes wide at McRae's, manages to catch the kart. Look at this train. We've now got Robinson in third. That's Spanswick up to fourth again. So Spanswick's got past Mamassi. Mamassi with a late move there on the inside. As late as you like from Hadi Mamassi, but he steps on the gas at the right moment, gets through in a fourth position. Very tricky overtaking move to go when you've already committed to that inside apex. That takes a little bit of bravery, and Hadi Mamassi has that in spades. Good work from him as he gets up into fourth position. Now he's chasing after Leo Robinson again for that third spot on the podium, and that would do wonders to whichever of the 5 drivers gets onto the rostrum in this battle. You know the 2 leading karts have gone. You know that that's not really in the target anymore. But to get third position when you've got 5 of you battling, that's a massive sense of achievement for any youngster in such a competitive field as this. Bird just leaves the braking a little bit deep so that he can get closer to the rear bumper of Spanswick's kart. And now they come up to the braking zone. Another late lunge from Mamassi. He's worked it out, you see. He's worked out he can leave it that late. Into third, Spanswick goes with him.
Yeah, Spanswick took advantage there. Great opportunist driving by Spanswick. We said earlier on that he may have lost a load of places, but he's got the quality to come back, and he's showing that right now. This is the battle for third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. A great battle it is.
Another new fastest lap from Macaulay Bishop. Spanswick wants to lock out the podium for Paul Munn, doesn't he? He wants to make sure that all 3 drivers are on that rostrum. That'll be an amazing photo later, but Mamassi is not a man to trifle with. He is there in third position, having fought his way back into the podium positions and going well. There's Joey Brown. making good progress. You've got to keep an eye on everyone at various stages of the field. It's not just about the front runners. You've obviously got to learn on the job. It's not like football, cricket, rugby. You don't get practice races. You've just got to go in there and get the job done.
Yeah, but he's a bit friendless back there. No buddies to play with, unfortunately.
Yeah, Isaac Phelps has extended about a 2-second gap over him of late. They were battling very closely, but Phelps has managed to find some pace, drop the hammer and get a little clear. So this 5-way scrap continues. Robinson now down to 5th position. He was in 3rd at one stage, but then so was Lewis Bird in 6th place. Wesley Swain hasn't quite been able to get up to 3rd position yet. And Rylan Ekberg is actually not far away from catching them. Big lunge from Robinson on the inside. Plenty of time to get that one done on Eden Spanswick. Spanswick out wide. Bird is thinking about the move. He decides to bail out of it. Waits until they go through Iredales. Out onto the back straight. Now, who's going to make the move? Is it going to be Spanswick or is it going to be Bird? Bird looks back to Swain, realises there's a bit of a gap. He has a look. I think he was hoping that Spanswick would pop up the inside of Robinson and then just go with him, but he hasn't been able to take advantage of that move because it didn't come.
Yeah, I think Mamassi was hoping that as well, so allow him to get away.
A mistake from Bird. I think Bird just missed his breaking point there. What's happened to Bird? Yeah, he's off. He's off. So whether he's missed his breaking point or whether he's got a mechanical failure, I reckon it might be the latter, because that did not look like driver error there from Bird, but Lewis Bird is out of the race.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it is some sort of mechanical failure. We'll see if he continues, but I don't think he is.
He could easily have been 3rd position in that one, and Lewis Bird, he had his head in his hands, he was banging the steering wheel. He knew he had a crack at the podium in this one. That did not look like driver error to me at all.
No, it looks like a mechanical failure. He's out of the race.
Here's Robinson, makes the move on the inside of Mamassi, and now Spanswick in the 5th position. 6th place for Wesley Swain. The yellow flag's waving, and that is for Lewis Bird's kart. As they pass it now, there it is, he's pulled off onto the grass. So whether he's had an engine seize or something along those lines, whether the chain came off, could well have been.
Arguably a chain, likely to be a chain, but could be something more serious.
Well, it's a real shame for Lewis Bird. So he'll be back to fight another day. This is once again Finley Brown versus Mason Rudman. 20 seconds on the clock. Big lunge from Spanswick on the inside of Mamassi, and he leaves the door firmly closed on the exit, so the Canadian can't get back in, and that's given Robinson a little bit of breathing space in 3rd position. Wesley Swain now queuing up for a go as he tries to make the move on Hadi Mamassi. Great racing from these 4, all bidding to get onto the podium. Lewis Bird unfortunately unable to be with them on this occasion. Rylan Ekberg and Charlie Morrison-Jones trying to keep close just in case there's a sniff of a top 5 finish if these guys start to battle.
You know what Macaulay Bishop needs to learn to do, Jake, don't you? He needs to learn to slow down a bit so we see more of him, because he's just so far out front. There's no point in following him. This is pretty much the only battle on the track now.
Yep, last lap, and Macaulay Bishop is 2 seconds clear. Barely any television time for him, but it's just because he's so dominant.
Absolutely right. Slow down, Macaulay.
Make it a bit harder. He needs to do a bit of a Lightning McQueen, you know, make it a bit of an entertainment, a bit of a show out front. But here is that quartet, still racing for 3rd. Looks almost settled. Spanswick may just get one final throw up the inside. There is your leader, though, Macaulay Bishop in front of his teammate Cameron Pratt-Thompson. Has Spanswick got the chance to make it a Paul Munn trio on the podium? He may just get one final shot, but Macaulay Bishop out front absolutely likes to flag, dominant, and he knows it. He is having the season of his life. Cameron Pratt-Thompson happy in 2nd. Robinson, though, is going to hold on to that 3rd place. Spanswick can't quite get the podium. Hadi Mamassi, so frustrated in P5, could easily have been the podium, and he knows it. Brown versus Rudman is going to finish at a stalemate. Good to see Brown holding off his opponent right to the bitter end. Great racing all the way through Mini X30. Macaulay Bishop 2 seconds clear of Cameron Pratt-Thompson. Robinson from Spanswick, Mamassi in 5th from Wesley Swain and Rylan Ekberg. Charlie Morrison-Jones, Finley Brown and Mason Rudman in the top 10. What that shows, though, is that Bishop is fighting back in the title race, but there's still plenty of drivers, Robinson, Spanswick, Hadi Mamassi and Lewis Bird, who failed to finish, who could make the difference.
So we'll go with top step. How was it, Macaulay? Walk in the park today?
Yeah, I had to get a good start. As soon as I got a gap, I just kept it there. And then at the end, it was just a bit of an easy race, and I just brought it home.
Just bring it home?
Just bring it home.
Are you at Larkhall for the next one?
Yeah.
Good man. 2nd place through, a bit of a lonely race for you as well.
Yeah, I mean, had a bit of a tangle at the start with Eden, but once I got past that and once I got going, I was away really. I was just chasing after Macaulay, But nice 1-2 for the team.
1-2 for the team. And third place to you. Last time it was 2 easy wins. A bit harder today.
Yeah, it was a bit harder. I think we struggled for pace this weekend, so we didn't manage to qualify on pole, and we didn't manage to go with Macaulay.
With 2 rounds to go, the championship points look like this. Wesley Swain has a championship lead on 3.75. Rylan Ekberg's on 3.63. Hadi Mamasi just 1 point further back. You can drop your worst score in the championship, so don't write off Macaulay Bishop, who won today. He's still in the mix, no doubt.